Imagine sitting down for a single minute of scrolling on social media, and suddenly it's been an hour. You've seen a video of a cat playing the piano, someone's perfect vacation photos, a motivational quote in neon pink, and a stranger's rant about their ex. You laugh, you compare, you react, sometimes without even knowing it. You're watching life through a window that's constantly showing you what you're missing, what you could be, and how everyone else is doing. But, have you ever stopped to think what scrolling all this noise is doing to the circuitry of your brain? Social media isn't just something you see, it's something you feel, a digital experience that rewires how we think, connect, and even remember. That little red notification isn't just a ping, it's a tiny shot of dopamine telling your brain to come back for more. And honestly, your brain listens. Welcome to MindShift, the place where we explore what makes the mind tick in a world that seems to move faster than ever. Today, we're diving deep into how social media rewires your brain, emotionally, chemically, and even socially. Get ready. Your brain will never look at a notification the same way again. Let's start here. Your brain is ancient. And I don't mean that as an insult. It's just not built for this world. Your brain evolved for survival, for spotting threats, forming tribes, and finding berries, not for decoding flat-lay photos and mind-blowing fit-check videos. So, every time you pull out your phone, your brain tries to fit this new, flashy reality into an ancient system based on reward, fear, and connection. Every time your phone buzzes with a notification, your brain lights up like a Christmas tree. Why? Dopamine, the neurotransmitter of wanting. It's the same chemical that makes you crave chocolate or keeps you up at 2 a.m. Googling who invented chocolate. It was the Aztecs, by the way. And no, they didn't invent dopamine, just pleasure. When you get a like, a comment, a little heart emoji, your brain gives you a dopamine hit, and that rewires your reward system over time. It teaches you validation is out there, somewhere between a swipe and a scroll. The more you chase it, the more your brain expects it. But here's the twist. Just like gambling, your brain doesn't just crave the reward, it craves the anticipation of it. It's why you refresh your notifications even though you were just there 5 seconds ago. You're not looking for news, you're getting high on the possibility of news. And here's a fun neuroscience fact. Your brain's reward centers are more active when a reward is unpredictable. So social media becomes this giant slot machine you carry in your pocket. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. But the not knowing is what keeps you hooked. Now, let's zoom out for a second. Psychologists have a word for how modern tech shapes our expectations: variable reinforcement. It's old news in psychology, but new mojo for your feed. In the mid-20th century, scientist B.F. Skinner conducted experiments on pigeons and observed that they pecked more obsessively when rewards were random. Sound familiar? Turns out we aren't so different from pigeons, just fancier pecking devices. Speaking of bizarre studies, did you know that in 2015, researchers found that the average person touches their phone 2,617 times a day, and heavy users around 5,400 times. That's basically the equivalent of a Victorian queen constantly ringing a bell for her servants. Only now, the servant is dopamine. Let's go deeper. There's more than chemicals at play here. Social media affects how you see yourself and others. Scroll long enough and comparison enters the chat. We don't mean to, but it happens. Your brain is wired for social comparison because it used to keep us alive. Back in the day, noticing that someone in your tribe was faster, stronger, or better at building shelters encouraged you to adapt and survive. But that instinct was never designed to process celebrities, influencers, or your friend's perfect post-gym selfie. This constant highlight reel? It creates a distorted reality where it feels like you're always not enough. And here's the kicker. Your brain reacts to this emotional discomfort with, yep, more scrolling. It's like trying to fill a cup with a hole in it. The more you check for comfort, the emptier you feel. Another weird consequence? Attention span. That's right, you no longer have one. Studies have shown that frequent social media use is linked to reduced attention and working memory, which means not only do you forget why you walked into rooms, but you also stop being comfortable in silence. Our brains are becoming wired for hyperstimulation, fast images, bold texts, punchy sounds. It's no surprise that books feel boring and nature feels too slow. Social media is also changing the way we form bonds. Picture this. 10,000 years ago, the only people you'd emotionally invest in were the few folks around your fire. Today, you're connected, in some way, to thousands of people from all over the planet. But here's the twist. Because the brain has limited bandwidth for deep emotional bonds, you end up with lots of shallow connections, and very few meaningful ones. This has a name too, Dunbar's number. It's the idea that humans can maintain about 150 stable relationships. Beyond that, it's just noise. But social media's trick is to convince us we can emotionally handle 800 friends. We can't. And so, the likes and interactions feel social, but not always satisfying. It's like eating chips instead of a meal. Still food, but nutritionally worthless. And yet, there's something hauntingly powerful about the way social media reprograms what we think connection means. When someone leaves you on scene, your brain registers rejection. Not metaphorically, literally. In brain scans, social rejection activates the same regions associated with physical pain. That's how hardwired connection is for us. Speaking of pain, here's a hilarious and historical side note. In the late 1800s, doctors began diagnosing lonely people with neurasthenia, a kind of nervous exhaustion blamed on modern inventions like the telegraph and typewriter. People genuinely believed that society was becoming too connected, too stimulating. Victorians worried that telegrams and rapid info flow would physically overload the brain. Little did they know, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok were coming like a freight train. So, is social media evil? Not really. Like any powerful tool, it depends on how it's used. It brings people together in ways that would have felt like sorcery a century ago. You can FaceTime your grandma or DM a stranger who becomes your closest friend. You can learn 5 languages, find a community, or take a free course on anything. The potential for growth is enormous. The problem is when we use social media passively, when we let it set our standards, shape our emotions, or become our default escape from discomfort. That's when the rewiring happens. Dopamine circuits shift, expectations warp, focus fragments, self-worth gets tethered to external validation. But here's the glow of hope. The brain is always rewiring. It's called neuroplasticity. So just as your habits shaped it, new habits can reshape it again. Try this. Next time you're scrolling, notice how your body feels. Are your shoulders tense? Is your mind comparing? Are you still breathing deeply? Suddenly, you're not just consuming, you're aware. And awareness is the beginning of change. Social media isn't going away, and neither are you. But your brain? Your brain is yours. You can teach it what matters. Use social media like a tool, not a trap. Create more than you consume. Connect more than you compare. And remember, what you pay attention to is what you're becoming. Guard it with intention. Thanks for watching MindShift.